If your daily routine as an entrepreneur is exciting, your business is probably failing, because the reality is that when you have an exciting routine, then in most cases, that's a signal that you're not focusing on what matters most. Everyone wants to have the flashy, chaotic entrepreneur lifestyle that's super expensive and bougie they see on Instagram, but real wealth is incredibly hard and boring. It is sending the same 20 emails, updating the same CRM, and making the same phone calls every single day, time after time after time, for hours and hours. Boring is what buys your freedom. And this is a concept that's not just said by me over here, it's said by matter of fact, all of the most successful entrepreneurs out there. Because the reality is that entrepreneurship requires you to be consistent on things that will make your business grow. And what will make your business grow in every single situation is going to be how you sell it. Is the core of it all, right? How you sell something and how much you're selling your product is what's going to take you to the next level, because selling is what makes you money, and money is what will bring you further in your business and will help you accomplish your goals. But let's sit down for a second and understand that selling is exactly what I said before: emailing, calling, going and knocking on doors, is doing the same thing time after time after time. So boring is your way out. And that is what most people don't understand, and why they are unsuccessful in what they do as entrepreneurs. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Chaos is a sign of a bad system. If you are consistently putting out fires, you aren't a CEO, really. You're a firefighter, right? And I know we're talking in not literal terms, but the reality is that if you're constantly trying to put out things and cover the gaps and mistakes that you've made, then the reality is that you're not doing what a CEO would do. You're simply trying to fix every single thing every single time, right? You're a lower level of a worker. You're more of an employee type of job, right? Because you're just simply trying to fix the same thing over and over again, instead of what you need to focus on more. Chaos, again, is a sign of bad systems. So if you have chaos, if you're constantly fixing the same thing, if you're constantly having to run back to correct mistakes, or constantly having to run back to hear just no's and just no's and just no's, and understand that in sales, you will hear a lot of no's, but eventually you must hear yeses. And if you're not hearing yeses, then the reality is, and I like to apply the rule of 100 here, if you receive 100 no's and 0 yeses, then maybe you might have to start considering what is going on. So if there is chaos, if there is a mess, and if there was consistent failure, then understand that you have a bad system, and you need to make the system good so that you can begin to reach other levels, so you can begin to be profitable. And understand that that process is going to be a little boring. And boring is good sometimes. Boring, in most cases, when it comes to your business, is a good sign. Now, let's get back to this concept of understanding that boring is profitable, and there is beauty in the repetitive task, and there is something amazing and growth that happens when you continue to repeat things time after time after time. It develops what's called consistency. It develops what's called persistence, because yes, you're going to be bored of constantly repeating the same thing over and over again. You're going to get tired of it, and it's going to feel like it's producing nothing, especially when it comes to sales, because when it comes to sales, you see little to no fruits in it many times, especially in the beginning. You get a ton of no's before you get any yes. And that is part of how most businesses work. There are exceptions out there, but almost most businesses work this way and start off this way. Learn to love the mundane moments, the monotone moments of the grind. Learn to understand that the feeling of being tired, of being bored, of feeling like it's hopeless, of feeling like it's not going anywhere, is part of what comes with it. And it's part of what develops your character that's going to allow you to be able to handle the things in the future that you're going to have. And this is a concept that's talked about a lot with entrepreneurs, right? Not just this random guy that's talking about it. No, as someone that is doing it himself, but doesn't have tons and tons of experience, I can tell you that for many people that I have watched and been able to learn from when it comes to entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs have to grow in order to be able to handle what will be put before them in the future. And that's a concept that's understood in general in life with anything, right? For you to be able to handle parenthood, you have to be able to grow before you get to parenthood, right? That's why generally you become an adult and then have kids, right? That's the general understanding of what most people do. So understand that your lack of being able to handle the mundane, the boring, the tiring concept of all of that, if you're not able to handle that, then you're not able to handle having a business, because it is the most basic task and the most basic need that your business is going to require out of you. Being consistent and showing up no matter how boring it is and no matter how tired of it you may be. So love the repetitive tasks, understand the beauty of it, embrace it, and learn to love those mundane moments of the grind. Now, by the way, if you want to master the boring systems that actually print money, hit that subscribe button now. We don't do flashy here. We don't do crazy stuff here. We grind. We build systems that will make us produce profit, and we help each other as entrepreneurs to be able to make it to another level. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and I know it really doesn't affect you much to do it. So thank you so much for doing so. Now, getting back to it, how to automate the boring stuff is something that many people don't understand. It's a tip that I want to give you in this video. Understanding how to automate boring stuff, boring systems that you may have in place in your business will take you to focusing on higher level strategies. It will remove you from focusing on the things that are not as necessary, because yes, there are boring, repetitive tasks, but there are some boring, repetitive tasks that you can automate. And that is why we talk about it. Grinding is important, but part of what we talk about is systems. And why systems are so important for this reason is because in everything you do in life, and I'm not talking just electronic systems, CRM, SaaS systems, I'm not just talking about that, but I'm talking about in anything in life, any type of system you put in place that can save you time is making you more productive. It is removing some of the boring, repetitive tasks that you shouldn't really be doing because they could be automated for you so that you can focus on more important things, right? I'll give you an example. There's many things out there that exist in regards to robots nowadays. For example, in my house, I like to have what is the vacuum and mopping robot. And I don't tend to sweep and mop as much because this thing takes care of it for me. What is it doing? That is a system that's automated so that I don't have to do boring stuff that I don't want to do. And instead, I can focus on something more higher level, more important, like my business. So in the end of the day, it's a everyday example, but when it comes to businesses, when you develop or when you incorporate a system that is a CRM, a SaaS system into your business, and it allows you to help you with marketing, and it allows you to be able to help you with reporting, and it begins to help you with communication with clients, and it begins to help you with any level of your business, maybe even finances. When this begins to occur, you begin to stop wasting time on the things that don't matter, and you begin to take out time for the things that do matter so that you can grow in both areas, but have a system that automatically does it for you instead of just leaving it on the side. Because you cannot leave the little things on the side in order to focus on the higher level things, and you can't leave the higher level things to focus on the little things. So don't forget this, because it's such an important concept, and it is a concept that's going to take you to another level when it comes to your business. Again, embracing the boring, embracing the things that are tiresome is important. Developing consistency is important. Developing persistence is extremely, extremely important. Don't be the person that ignores this. Don't be the person that puts it to the side. And don't be the person that thinks that starting a business is always just going to be glamorous and fun and just exciting. No, it's going to be tiring. It's going to require consistency even when you don't want to be. It's going to require you to show up when you don't want to show up. So if you're ready to put systems in place, but if you're ready to also put in the work and grind, this is the channel for you. Hit the subscribe button, give the video a like, put your comments below of how the boring stuff has made your business profitable, of how you plan on using this, what we've talked about, in making your business or your future business profitable. And again, remember, this is the channel for those who want to be able to grow as entrepreneurs or who want to start their journey as entrepreneurs. Your path to freedom is here. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.